Severe weather moves south along the New South Wales coast, with major flooding persisting across southeast Queensland and northeast New South Wales. Satellite shows that low pressure system that was delivering that rainfall to northeast New South Wales moving offshore and decaying significantly. We have a look at the water vapour. It's no surprise that that dry air has overrun it, weakening it, and that moist air coming down from the Coral Sea, providing a new area where a low pressure system will form to the south of Lord Howe Island, and it will move towards the coast as we move forward closer to the weekend. Now, rain observations to 9 a.m. this morning around that mid-north coast area, we saw up to 170 millimetres fall, and wind observations since midnight. We've seen multiple stations in the red dots there get over 90 kilometres an hour, and that's as that low really starts to intensify. So the severe weather warnings have moved away from heavy rainfall to more hazardous surf and damaging winds. So damaging winds extends along the entirety of that yellow area, with an embedded area of hazardous surf at abnormally high tides. So the damaging winds is for very coastal areas and parts of the elevated Great Divide, and the hazardous surf and abnormally high tides are for more southerly exposed areas, which is a normal fetch for much of New South Wales. However, as we'll see, the wave heights are far more significant than normally experienced during most of the year. So, forecast wind and rain. We can see that low pressure system's forming and weakening out, with that fresh one developing to the south of Lord Howe Island and drawing close, like dumbbelling through to the New South Wales south coast there. A large pickup in wind that's being driven a lot by the squeeze from that high pressure system. So these southeast winds are really screaming onto the coast. We'll see a major pickup of rainfall along the exposed areas of the Great Divide and coastward, and also up into the northeast areas of Tasmania there, with quite a bit of rainfall expected out till Sunday, with the possibility of some flood watches and warnings being issued for the south coast and parts of the eastern Gippsland. Forecast total rainfall, still some shower and storm activity today and Friday for the northeast, but largely as this low pressure system draws closer, we can see that those accumulations starting to darken somewhat, getting up to the 50 to 100 millimetre mark. We may possibly get above that in eastern Gippsland as those ranges really squeeze all that moisture out of that onshore air. Flood watches and warnings. Flood watches are a thing of the past, with most of that worrisome rainfall moving offshore. We're just left with major areas in red there, clustered around that northeast New South Wales area, and the Condamine River in southeast Queensland around Dalby. Now, most of the rivers in mid-north coast have gone to moderate, with some minors still around there. So finally, to the total wave height, we can see that low pressure system by late Friday really starting to develop. That squeeze is acting on the surface of the ocean, and we're getting total wave heights there of 8 to 9 metres along the New South Wales coast. So it's vitally important for people in the marine area to be well across the warnings, and it will be not deceptively powerful, overtly powerful during the course of this weekend. Weather conditions do fine up somewhat on Saturday and Sunday, so people may be tempted to get out on the water, but please practice extreme cautions, as the waves will be much higher than they generally are for much of the year. And that's it from the Bureau. Keep up to date with our latest forecast and warnings on our website, app and social media, and please follow the advice of emergency services.